What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. The last episode, we arrived here in the Alienage, we took care of the haunted orphanage, and we also talked to Shianni here, who said that elders have been disappearing inside this little hospice and never returning. Now the hospice is run by Tevinter blood mages. As you know, Tevinter thinks very highly of themselves. They think everyone else is below them. They often take slaves. They're all just cattle and a source for power for their spells, according to their logic, so we're definitely going to be taking notice of this. There is a little general store back here. We'll go ahead and dip in here before we talk to the Tevinters. Might be able to get some information from the store owner, and if nothing else, we'll take a look at the stock. Maybe he has a backpack for us.
I'm sorry, but we're closed. There are a few places in the market district that can probably serve you.
What's going on? Why are Tevinters here?
They came to treat the Blight Plague. You did know about the plague, didn't you?
I don't think it's Blight Plague. We've seen people affected by the Blight Plague in the deep roads like Rook and Hespeth. That certainly doesn't look like it's anything to do with that. Convenient story for the Tevinters to come here, though. Why would Tevinters care about a plague in Ferelden?
They don't want it spreading to the Imperium. The plague made it to Denerim from the south by trade routes, after all. No reason it couldn't cross the sea the same way.
What kind of treatment do these Tevinters have?
It's magic. I suppose in the Imperium they use magic to boil water and cross a street. The Chantry sent a Templar to watch them the first day. If the Chantry says it's safe, it must be. It's supposed to keep you from getting sick. If you're already ill, though, well, they take you into quarantine.
The irony of him saying the Chantry sent a Templar to watch them and the Templar was blind and here investigating Maleficarum. Convenient story they were told. That's not even why he was here. How long are people quarantined?
No one who's gone in has come out again. Could be they die in there. Could be they've recovered and just can't come back yet.
Also, it could be they're being shipped off to the Imperium as payment. Where are they quarantining people?
In the hospice on the corner. Don't think they'll let you in, though. It wouldn't be much of a quarantine if people just come and go there.
No, like I was saying to Shianni, I don't plan on asking. Does the magic work?
I can't imagine that it does. Although the mages of the Imperium are renowned for their skill, there are no spells I know of that can do such a thing.
I don't know. Either you don't get the plague because you got their magic put on you, or you don't get it because you just got lucky. But it can't hurt, right?
I'd be very careful with that kind of thought process. I'll go.
Good day.
Yeah, you too. Alright, so let's have a brief conversation with these mages. We have Healer Sarator and Healer Veras.
I ask you to stand back. Some of these people are carrying the plague. The alienage is not safe for visitors.
Aren't you afraid of getting the plague?
If we did not know how to prevent the plague, we would not be here now.
What school of magic does this spell belong to? Our circle knows of none which fully prevents plagues.
You will have to excuse us, but we are not authorized to share the secrets of our circle with outsiders.
Right.
For your own safety, we must ask you to leave now.
He didn't seem like he was asking politely there.
You have already been told to leave. Please do not waste any more of our time.
Right, let's swing the head around back here. Take a look at some of this stuff. Of death roots.
As you wish.
Goes to the apartments. There's an elven guard back here, surprisingly.
No, you can't go inside just for a moment. So you might as well walk right back around to the front doors. You shouldn't be out on the streets now anyway. What with the plague?
Aren't you afraid of getting the plague yourself?
What's worse, dying of the plague or dying of hunger? I'll take my chances with the plague, thank you, if it means I get paid. I've been hungry. The novelty's worn off.
It seems like they equipped this elf with armor or weapon. It's illegal to bear arms in here for the elvish people, but this dude's certainly doing alright. It's a silverite plate mail. How much do they pay you?
Not enough to put up with all these questions. What do you want?
Would you let me in that house for 6 sovereigns?
6. Sure. I never saw you, and you never saw me.
There's always a price. He's gonna go take a smoke break. And we are gonna silently dip in the back of this hospice. I don't want to confront those blood mages outside directly, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of innocent people out there. I don't want the elves out there to get caught in the crosshairs of this. These are the saw swords that I mentioned earlier for looking cool. That's what they look like, if you were curious.
Let's get started.
I know I didn't equip it, but there's an unlimited supply of saw swords in this area. Wooden crate. Great sword and a soldier's helm. Now what do we have here? There's a note. There's a key with this note. Bring 8 something for the shipment. Now, you found a key wrapped in a note that seems to indicate something about a shipment of elves. The key is a cheap one and looks likely to belong to an apartment here in the slums. Perhaps Shianni would know more. Go ahead and loot the pile of coins, though. Now, before we get a little too risky with this...
Help us, please! We're not sick! Let us out of here!
How do I know you don't have the plague?
I swear not one of us is sick. They take the sick ones out as soon as they come in. Please, help us!
I'm getting you out of the...
Thank you, friend.
You see, he's been beaten. Where's Valendrian?
They took him away already. Through the back alley. We don't know where exactly.
You should get out of here.
You don't have to say that twice.
Okay, so this definitely doesn't bode well. Talk of shipments of elves. Loghain certainly in some shady business here. We know all about the Tevinters and their slave trade. Shipments of elves out the back alley. Beaten elves in cages. We're gonna slip out the back. We will talk to Shianni. Now you see the elves out, the mages outside are sadly already hostile, so... But thankfully, the crowd here is now gone, so we won't have to worry about that. Now where is Mana Clash? Morrigan, you're gonna take care of these 2 mages for me. There goes the healers. Now there is 1 elf that's gonna come get involved in this. I prefer not to have to do this. They're not the problem here, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna have a choice. This Tainted God is gonna go to the afterlife with his friends. I wish that elf didn't get involved, but there we have it.
On it.
At least most of the elves cleared out of the way. I understand why he jumped in. It's misinformed, but I kind of understand why he felt the need to. He thinks these people are helping his people. That's part of the reason I didn't want the outright confrontation while the crowd was assembled, because clearly a lot of those people were on board with the Tevinter's little game that they're playing here. So I would have preferred to avoid needless bloodshed. Saris is in here. Now, I'm not sure where Shianni went. I would talk to her before we dip into the apartments, but it doesn't look like she's still hanging around. Okay, here she is.
What happened? Some of the elves ran out, but I didn't recognize any of them. Where are all the others?
They were the only ones inside, but I did find this note.
Let me see that. What does this even mean? They can't be shipping people, can they? Shipping them where?
Have you seen them bring anything out of the hospice?
No. People go in, but they don't come out. They aren't shipping anything out of there that we've seen. They could be moving through the back alleys. There are all sorts of buildings back there. They could be using one as some sort of warehouse, staging area.
There was a key with the note.
There are apartments off the alleys. I would go to the back of the hospice and maybe follow the alley from there. If you find any more information, please let me know. I refuse to accept that they're all simply gone.
Now we're gonna wait until we see what's going on back here before we draw any conclusions, but it's certainly not looking good for Loghain. Before we dip into the apartments, we are gonna level up Wynne. We'll give her 1 willpower and drop another 2 into magic. We'll get her spell power up. She already has all of this, so at this point we'll just give her some resistances. Or actually, perhaps we could give her a combat training. Mages can take more damage from an attack before it interrupts their spellcasting. We will give her some combat training, actually. Now, for the rest of her skill trees, we're going to go ahead and give Wynne Mind Blast, just for when our mages get surrounded, so head over to Wynne's tactics. She does have one leftover spot, so we're going to go self. Surrounded by at least 3 enemies. Use ability Mind Blast, and that's going to help pull her ass out of the fire if she ever gets caught. It'll be good for her and for Morrigan, since they're usually together, both in the ranged preset. They'll kind of help each other out. Now, you already know how I feel about all of this, so if Lorgain is involved in what seems to be pretty condemning.
I won't go to the hospice. You can't make me.
I'm not surprised you don't want to. If Lorgain is involved in any shape or form with the slave trade, he's gonna be given a long goodbye.
Who's there? Stay away!
Calm down. I just want to ask some questions.
I can't say nothing. Please, just go. I don't want trouble.
Would some coin change your mind?
All right. I saw them take everyone. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Maker, the little one's crying.
Where did they take everyone?
Through the landlord's old office. They go in there, they never come back.
What about Valendrian?
I saw him. They marched him through the hall with a bunch of others, all tied together like pack mules.
Yeah, what else have you seen?
Every few days, they come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
Right. Well, all the Tevinters in this place are dead. You just heard it from the horse's mouth. They're in here stealing elves out of their bed and taking them by force into whatever the hell they're doing back here. We're not going to be dealing with that. They're all dead.
Let's get started.
Here we have the sexton we've been looking for the entire game. That takes care of our final side quest. Yeah, every Tevinter in here is dead. The slave trade that they have going on here, it's not going to continue. You're all dead. It's going to be the end of that. Slavos are at the top of my shit list, and they're all going to die. There'll be no negotiation, there'll be no them trying to talk their way out of the grave that I'm going to put them in, none of that. They're all dead. There's no conversation to be had with slavers. Put them in the ground and move on. That's exactly what we're going to do here. Keep a careful eye out for any kind of evidence of what's going on. I don't expect people in the Landsmeet to just take our word for it, so we are going to need something to prove what we're saying here. Certainly at least a tie Lorgain to it. I'm sure he'll categorically deny everything. It's kind of his whole spiel is to just blame the Wardens for it all.
What's this? Another shipment already? Do we want... Wait, you're no Tevinter. Who are you supposed to be?
I'm looking for the missing elves.
Quick, get them, hurry!
You can certainly try.
Enemies approaching. On your guard. Show me what you got.
Yeah, there's going to be no mercy for any of these people. They're from a land famous for their slave trade, and they're clearly bringing that to Ferelden. Not on my watch. Not on my soil.
Right. You had it coming. It's either you or me. It's gonna be me.
Take care of the rabble archers back here.
Let's get started. Is that all you?
Dead like the rest of your friends.
This should be easy enough.
Again, it's essentially educated and bred into the Tevinters from birth that they are the superior people. If you're not a mage, you're just cattle, right? More power for the blood magic. Tevinter is basically a slave nation, not too different from Sparta, how they had the hoplites doing all the work and the things below them. That's basically what Tevinter is, except with much less honor and glory involved. And the ones they don't use for manual labor, they bleed dry to power their spells. There'll be none of that going on here by the time I'm done.
What is the meaning of this? We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities.
Oh, interesting. No interference in what? What's going on here?
You simply fought your way in here to ask questions, did you? You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. You Fereldans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is. But isn't it funny how quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals?
Oh, honey, it doesn't dissolve the ideals in my brain. You're slavers.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to acquire new blood? These slaves will fetch an excellent price in the Imperium, and we're paying handsomely for this opportunity. But enough. I am here to halt your slaughter, nothing more.
Well, unfortunately for you, I'm not for sale, so I'd certainly like to see you try.
Let us finish this then. I intend to see you pay for the damage you've done here.
The feeling is very mutual. Now, she is not only a traitor to her own people, she's also a giant hypocrite because, as our warden so gracefully could have pointed out there in the dialogue options, he's an elf. These are her people she's selling out for blood magic. And if you were curious, he basically straight up admitted that she's not here for manpower or labor, it's new blood. They're here for blood. What do Tevinters use blood for? Blood magic rituals. They're here to slaughter innocent people and bleed them dry for magic. That won't be happening. You'll note how she said there was a promise that the authorities wouldn't interfere. They were given free reign to do whatever they like, and all for the promise of gold. It seems like Loghain wanted some extra funding for his little civil war usurping of the throne that he's been up to. And so he gave the Tevinters leave to come in here and steal Ferelden citizens. Whether they are elves or humans, they are citizens of Ferelden being sold into slavery by the king. What a great man. But I suppose it's all for Ferelden independence, right? Now, if anybody would like to point out to me how on top of everything else that Loghain has done, selling your citizens into slavery in Tevinter helps secure Ferelden independence, I would love to know. Allowing your nation to become indebted to a nation founded upon slavery and blood magic.
Let's get started.
How exactly does that secure Ferelden independence? How could that possibly help Loghain's position? It doesn't. He's for sale. He's nothing but a cheap whore. His honor and everything about him is for sale. The Tevinters came here with shiny gold coins and said, hey man, let us take your citizens as slaves. Nobody will care, it's just the elves, right? Just close off the alienage, we'll lie about a plague, we'll bribe you, and then we can take all their blood. And Loghain said, yes please. The man has zero honor. A quote-unquote legend. You see, he's willing to piss away his own legend just as much as the legend of Ferelden itself. That'll be the end of all this. Now, I already wasn't exactly thrilled about Loghain's existence, but now that he's also a slaver on top of all that, I'm sure you can imagine what my game plan is for her and Loghain. I refuse to call him king. That's not what he is. He's not a king. He's a trumped-up turn who got a little too eager on his own legend.
This should be easy enough.
Drunk on power and whatever the hell else is going on with him. Maybe it's just petty revenge.
On it.
The fact that he's willing to do all this, on top of all his other crimes. Betrayed his king and his nephew, regicide. Put a bounty on the Grey Wardens, slaughtered them. Started a civil war, poisoned Arls, overthrew the Circle with abominations. You need much more condemning evidence to put up in front of the court of Loghain's character. I think not. I think we know all we need to know, and that'll be the end of him. Now, we may as well, at this point, we may as well just go ahead and get the final tactics slot. I mean, we don't need it, but may as well take it.
Right. Trap.
I would prefer that my mages didn't jump down here first, so let's, how about we do this? I would like to disarm this trap first. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Pull all you guys back. My character is gonna go first. You take care of that.
I need help.
You got it just in time. Now Alistair's gonna go get some. Thorn, Warcry. We're gonna chop that wood with a whirlwind. That's his ass. And now it's your turn to join him. And that takes care of the guards. After all this time, there is no explanation or possible reasoning Loghain could have to justify any of his actions. He can tell that shit to the Maker or whatever he believes in or wherever he's going after this, but whatever he tells me is just not going to cut the cake because there's no justification for any of this. The only thing to be had here is justice, and that's exactly what we're going to deliver. He will live long enough to see his own work undone. And an heir of King Marek on the throne, which I'm sure to him will be the final insult since he's racked with so much jealousy over the Theron bloodline getting thrown and not him. It'll be the last thing he sees is his daughter turn against him and the entirety of his beloved country vote him off the chair. Then I'm gonna vote his head off his neck. There's not really much else to be done.
This should be easy enough.
Inora and Kaelin are going to rule together, and Loghain will be wiped from Ferelden's honor. And maybe we'll be able to keep some of it intact, even though he's already shredded most of it.
I am Caladrius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about.
And this little man just reeks of Tevinter Imperium, doesn't he? You've heard of me.
One can hardly get a word out of the Regent besides Warden these days. It's surpassed even gold in popularity.
Ah, how touching. Been having meetings with Loghain personally, have you? How do you know Loghain?
Yes, you would be curious about that, wouldn't you? I've heard that you're trying to erode Loghain's support. It must be a difficult task, yes, like washing away a mountain. Perhaps you could use some help.
I want absolutely nothing from you. Don't you have an agreement with Loghain?
More of an arrangement, truth be told. One that disappears the moment angry armed intruders storm my abode. Truth be told, there was always a limit to how long we were going to be able to operate here. We've paid for many of Loghain's troops, but once the Landsmeet is done, we become inconvenient. So, here is my offer. 100 sovereigns from you for a letter with the seal of the Terran of Gwaren upon it, implicating him in all of this. Then, we leave a few days earlier than planned with our profits and remaining slaves unharmed.
'Tis a reasonable enough starting offer.
I feel dirty. We're not considering this, are we?
Absolutely not.
So, do we have a deal? Even you must admit it's much better than resorting to barbarism, yes?
I quite like barbarism, actually. How do I know this letter of yours is any good?
It's legitimate. Whether or not it will actually help you, of that I cannot say. Some people will not believe the truth even when it is right in front of them, yes?
Interesting to know that the letter is in your pocket. I don't quite... Let's be honest, I don't really need you to give it to me. I can just take it from you. If I accept help from you, how am I better than Loghain?
You're not. Did I say you were? I'm simply hoping the world is full of pragmatists, shall we say.
Well, maybe you didn't say I was better than Loghain, but I'm saying that I am. I have a counter-offer.
Interesting.
My offer is this. I kill you and take everything for free.
Oh, a comedian. Let's settle this the hard way, then.
I would love nothing less. Right, now he is obviously a mage, so while he is going to start casting his nonsense, we're going to rip a Mana Clash before he gets a chance to do any of that. Wynne is going to go ahead and rip a Mass Paralysis before they get a chance to do any of that. We are going to go deal with these idiots in the back line. You see that chunked his health. very sufficiently. Wynne, I would have liked you to have cast your mass aura at some point. Try this again, Wynne. Mass paralysis, please. Beautiful. Thank you, Wynne. Morrigan is over here having a very long day for some reason. She's decided to trunk on over there herself. Morrigan, if you would be so kind as to head on over to the rest of the party, that's going to help you live. We have nothing for Caladrius but a fucking blade, so that's the end of you.
Enough! It seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender.
Your blood magic isn't going to be good enough to save you here. I suggest you come up with a new offer. Fast.
Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. Allow me to leave this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do this little service for you.
An interesting offer, if a tad messy.
Little service. He is talking of blood magic. Surely you would not consider such a thing.
You're 100% correct, Wynne. I wouldn't consider such a thing. I'm just merely showing everybody this guy's true colors. Now let's get to chopping his head off. No, I wouldn't.
Most wise.
Then, I don't suppose you would consider just, letting me go?
Now who's the comedian? No, I don't suppose I would.
Ah. Well, that is a shame, isn't it?
More so for you than for me.
Time for a little cleanup.
Alistair, go deal with him. Morrigan, deal with him. Wynne, if you would be so kind as to paralyze all of these. And I'm gonna take the one-on-one with Caladrius here. Goodbye. Now that takes care of him. All his friends are stunned. They're just gonna die. Again, there's never any chance of me letting any of these people live. Simply give him a chance to talk so he could expose his own character. Or lack thereof.
You don't look like a Tevinter. Not that it means much. Are you one of them? What happens to us now?
You're free now.
Free? How strange to hear that word in here. We will not trespass long on your good graces. Come, everyone. Let's go home.
Yes, go home. We've all been through more than enough. Now here's Caladrius, and of course he has slaver documents. These documents authorize the removal of the elves from Denerim's alienage. They bear the seal of Turn Loghain Mactia, directly selling his own people into slavery. Now we have Valendrian here in the codexes. We'll go ahead and read that in the character section. I was hoping that would actually let me read the letter. So there you have it. The end of Loghain's whatever honor he earned defending Ferelden is shredded upon whatever this is. There's nothing left of the man we once knew, and by the time we get done with being in Denerim, there'll be nothing left of the man, period.
On it.
And the fact that even then, as he was about to die, his grand offer to make up for his sins was to slaughter all the remaining slaves to augment our health. It shows you how Tevinters think, who they are as a people. They have no care for human life. It means nothing. And since Loghain certified them to come in here and do this, Loghain also doesn't care about humanity or anything else. Your mother come back?
Mama said she'd bring me a present from High Ever. I wonder what it'll be.
I don't think she'll be coming back if she was at High Ever. Well, great news, Shianni. Your people aren't going to be sold as slaves anymore.
I'm sorry if I was rude to you before. Andraste's ass, you'd think I'd learned some social graces. Anyway, what I mean by all this is, thank you.
You are very welcome. I'm not sure where Valendrian would be, perhaps in his home. We did free him.
Ah, it's you. Welcome. Please, come in. Tell me, how is Duncan?
You know Duncan.
He's been a friend of mine for many years, yes. From the look on your face, I take it the news is bad.
He died at Ostagar.
I am sorry to hear that. I knew that the Wardens suffered great losses at Ostagar, but a few escaped. I had hoped Duncan might be one of them.
Were we also lucky? What will you do about the plague now?
We've been through outbreaks of pestilence during the war with Orlais. We'll endure. I doubt very much now that the Tevinter intervention would have helped us anyway.
Yeah, that was a guy so they could kidnap your people. How did you know Duncan?
He came here now and then to look for potential recruits. Perhaps that seems strange to you, but Duncan was a man who knew that talent could emerge in the most unlikely places.
Doesn't seem strange to me at all.
Please.
One of the most famous Wardens was an elf after all, Garahel.
2 years ago. I suspect you'll put it to better use than I would.
Eventually. Now if we go to our quests, we can go back to the Chanters Board to turn this in. We have the Mages Collective to turn in, and we also have the last 2 Blackstone quests to turn in, so we're all doing very good here. As for the unrest in the Alienage, our next step is to find the missing elves. You discovered that the missing elves had been sold into slavery by Caladrius, a Tevinter slaver. You've recovered evidence that shows that Loghain knew about this and allowed it. This evidence will certainly be useful in the Landsmeet. Alrighty, here we are back in the Market District. I didn't notice we had Slim Couldry here. I'm not sure who this is. I guess we'll find out.
Hello there, Warden. I'm a friend. I've heard you're putting up the good fight against Loghain and Hal, right? Good for you. Make us spit on all those arrogant noble bastards. I've also heard you have certain skills. Skills of the street, you might say. No judgments here, mate. I want to help you.
How did you know I'm a warden?
Your likeness has been shown to some of the guards. Managed to get a peek at it myself. The name is Slim Couldry, and if you've heard of me, I've been doing a sad job of it, haven't I? I hear a great many things, and for those who view certain pesky laws as mere nuisances, there's some ripe fruit to be plucked out there. I can point the way. All I ask is for a little slice for myself.
Tell me more. I'm interested.
Well, one of my mates noticed your skills. Nice piece of work, that. Uncommon caliber, if you don't mind me saying. But I need to know what else you can do. Ever done bump and grabs? Do much blending in shadows? Different opportunities for different folk, you know.
Stealth I have covered, but I don't pick pockets.
More of a second story man, eh? So was I back in the day. The thrill of the hunt. Dodging guards, in and out, no one the wiser. Ah, the good life. Now that we have that settled, just ask away. One point. I don't like blood much. Call me old-fashioned, but the Maker says thou shalt not strangle, decapitate or whatnot unless the other fellow really had it coming, eh? I realise sometimes you do what you have to, but restrained, right? So, what are you interested in?
Know of any good places to break in?
I've got a place for you. It should be easy money for you. It'll cost 1 sovereign, though.
Tell me the details.
Lady Sophie is an intimate of Al Hal. Real intimate.
She used
She's
to be.
visiting the country, because that's what rich folk do when the whole bloody kingdom's in danger. Sorry, they just get me so angry. Her room in the Nord Noble Tavern is unattended. That means her valuables are just there for the taking. You got the tavern staff. What? What is it?
I already broke into that room.
Maker's blood. Well, right. Here's your money back. Give me another chance. I know of another opportunity.
You do you?
Good to see you, Warden. Fighting the good fight, eh?
Know of any good places to break in?
I have a big opportunity for you. 4 sovereigns.
This better be worth it.
Al Hal uses a warehouse in the market district from time to time. Word is the Arl's been dipping into the city's treasury and discreetly moving silver bars to his estate in Highever. There's a fortune in that warehouse right now, and if you succeed here, Al Hal gets a big black eye. But guards will be everywhere, not those half-assed dock guardsmen either. Generally, I'm opposed to killing, But these are the Arl's hand-picked hatchetmen, and stealth's not really an option. So, good luck. I'm rooting for you.
Okay, well, that's the quest for that. And trust me, Alhau has much more than just a black eye right now. Like the Chanter Rosamund.
Those stung with 100 arrows, those suffering from ailments both great and small, his heart was strong, and he moved on.
Very good. I believe that is the final Chanters Board for Denerim. Indeed it is. Now let's go turn in the Mages Collective. Turn this in for our friends.
A little something extra. For friendship.
Sounds good. We have been friends for a pretty long time now.
Let's get started.
Now we have one more, Defending the Collective. We have intercepted messages on their way to the Chantry in Denerim, listing a number of our friends among the Collective as suspected blood mages. Should they reach Knight Commander Tavish, it could spell doom for our humble group of simple mages. We seek a loyal and discreet courier to see it that these testimonies find their way to the generous and pious Knight Commander Harith in Redcliffe, rather than the notoriously inflexible Denerim Chantry. We can sure take care of that for them. Now, so the last two things we have here is Defying the Collective. Deliver the bundled testimony to Knight Commander Tavish in Denerim, who would be very interested in accusations of blood magic among the Collective. Or, deliver the bundled testimony to Knight Commander Harith in Redcliffe to silence the accusations of blood magic among the Collective. And in Crime Wave, we have A Fistful of Silver. Alhau has been stealing silver bars from the city treasury. Crates of silver are being held temporarily in a warehouse right in the marketplace. Your objective is to locate the silver and take as much of it as you can. Now, we do know where the market is. Of course, in the meantime, we do need to make a decision on whether we're going to betray the Collective or help them out. This is the Knight Commander we turn them into if we want to accuse them of blood magic. Given all that we have done these secret places of power for them. We have, of course, taken care of a lot of false testimonies. We marked certain houses with blood to make sure that they knew they were going to be accused. We've done a lot of things for the Collective. We have also bribed Templars. There's a lot of shady things going on back there, and a lot of things that seem to just be good for the cause. Now, there is a certain thing that's going to influence my decision on what to do there, and that is mainly going to be the fact that we are mid-blight and the mages have already vowed to help us. The Collective certainly will be amongst those mages, and I don't think thinning our numbers with accusations of blood magic that we can't confirm or deny would be very good for the cause. So, we won't be turning that into Knight Commander Tavish, but if you yourself have been through the campaign and you don't feel like you trust the Mage Collective, now is your chance to put a stop to it. You can either take care of that and shut it down, or you can enable it. I'll be enabling it strictly for the purposes of the Blight. Now, if we weren't mid-Blight, I might have a different opinion, again, given the fact that we've done so many things that we ultimately just don't know the motivations behind. Places of power were certainly a little questionable. The Templar bribes can lead to a lot of problems down the road if you think about it. But we just don't know, right? We just don't know which way that tide is flowing. And in the middle of a Blight, I'm not prepared to kill our allies in order to get there, so we won't be helping the Templars on this one specific scenario. I suppose, after we finish with Slim Couldry in the marketplace, we'll go ahead and take care of that. We'll dip back to Redcliffe, talk to Knight Commander Harith, and then we'll come back to the Collective.
Dwarven crafts.
Not sure how many quests good old Slim back here has, but I don't mind cleaning up the last of all House men. His family certainly shouldn't inherit any of his ill-gotten gains.
Warden, rumours are flying about the break-in at the Nord Noble Tavern, and for some odd reason, no one feels too sorry for that milk cow, Lady Sophie.
Milk cow.
You interested in more?
Know of any good places to break in?
I have one last job. A legendary one. Oh, a paltry 10 sovereigns is my take.
Sounds good to me.
Ban Franderil is one of the richest men in the entire kingdom. At his grand ball next week, he's displaying some of his priceless treasures. Paintings of old masters, the armaments of the first king of Denerim, and more. Oh, more. Mages have put up magical wards, but I've got a route that will bypass that. Once inside, I've no idea how you'll deal with the guards, but if you do, you'll be rich and infamous. I can't wait to see what people say.
We will absolutely be taking care of that. Now let's go ahead and look at this. Slim Couldry pulled out all the stops with this one. Ban Franderel, one of the richest men in the kingdom, is hosting a party soon. He is planning to display some of his priceless treasures at the party. Slim has given you a key that bypasses the magical defenses of his estate and will let you break in to rob the ban. Now, I'm not entirely sure where that is. I suppose we'll check the world map. If we do have to travel for it, I'll go ahead and cut the video to Redcliffe. We'll take care of the Knight Commander situation first, and then I'll go check out this party. So I will catch you there, guys. Alright, so I did just run into a bug, so I unfortunately had to reload this. We are going to turn in the Blackstone Irregulars inside the Nord Noble Tavern first, before we get to any of this. The reason why is because we progressed to Redcliffe first to take care of the other things, and then the final Blackstone quest bugged out, so we are going to turn that in while we're here. Hopefully avoid that issue. I'll explain the issue when I run into it, but rest assured, if you have been following this Let's Play so far, make sure you turn those Blackstone quests in before you leave Denerim. Very important.
The captain sends his regards.
Thank you very much. Now, Blackstone Irregulars box. A change in leadership. My friend, the time has come to see this guild under new leadership. My father has led the Irregulars through some tough times, but it is clear that his judgment is faulty from age, and that it is time for new blood to head up the guild. This was a difficult decision for me to come to, and I fear that he will not give up his position peacefully. You will find him in Denerim, in the market district, likely surrounded by his sycophants. Do whatever you deem necessary to convince him that his son's leadership is the best chance for this guild to thrive in these times. The guild backs this mission, my friend, as do many of our friends in Denerim. Let concerns of dissent fade from your mind. This is the right thing to do. Your friend, Tauren. Now, if you paid attention while we've been getting the quests from the Blackstones, you'll notice the difference between Raelnor and Tauren. Raelnor has often talked about doing things the right way and redeeming the honor of the guild, getting some honor back into the Blackstones and reforming it into an organization he can be proud of. Now, Tauren, on the other hand, thinks that that's all nonsense and that you can just bribe and kill and stab your way through whatever. If you read the codexes, or you've been listening to me reading the quest logs as we pick up things for the Blackstones, Tauren clearly has an air of, I don't care who you are, if you disagree, you die. You can be bribed or you can be killed, it's your choice. That's kind of how Tauren sees this. He's full of corruption, and just wants to stab his way into power, and Raelnor is a good man. So, while we're not going to assassinate Raelnor for Tauren, we are certainly going to go talk to him, tell him of his son's betrayal, and then, if he asks, we'll help. If he doesn't, we won't. Their civil war is not really our business, but the Blackstones have offered to be our allies against the Blight, and Raelnor is the man for that job. So if he does ask, we are going to take care of it for him. Otherwise, we'll just kind of inform him what's going on and let the rest play out itself. I do know where Raelnor happens to be. He's right down here. Raelnor the Hawkwind.
Ah, Warden, we finally meet. I know why you're here. Tauren sent you. My own son wants me dead. Well, I suppose I should be proud that I bred in him such ambition.
Why would he want you dead?
He is an ambitious child, hungry for the guild to be the way it was in his grandfather's day, a violent band bolstered by secret funding from the nobility. He disagrees with my belief that we can make our way without such backroom dealing. We can, instead, work with honor and integrity.
See, he's selling me already. I happen to agree with you.
I appreciate you saying that, Warden. It's good to know that my beliefs are shared by someone of your station. I have wrestled with my own emotions about my son for some time, in fear that I may have to turn a blade on him myself. But I cannot bring myself to do it. Kill my own son, even if it's what's best for my men.
I could take care of him for you.
I ache even discussing this, but Tauren has killed his opponents and bullied my men. It has to stop. Challenge him to a duel and defeat him. Return to one of our posts, and I will reward you.
Consider it done.
As much as I appreciate your help, I cannot see you after the deed is done. Despite everything, you will still be the one who killed my son. Last I heard, he was headed toward Lothering. You should find him there. Come, men. Evil thoughts make me thirsty for ale.
Yeah, you guys go kick back at the bar somewhere and I'll take care of the bad business. Right, so now we will travel to Redcliffe. I'll go ahead and cut the video and link up back there. And basically, Tauren's little camp is a random encounter. You have to travel around the map until you find it. Now, hopefully, we just find it on our way back to Redcliffe. But if we don't, I'll pop around and edit that out until we find him. So I'll catch you guys at either or. Now, as promised, we did just catch this random event right outside Lothering, so true to his word, here's Tauren Hawkwind.
My friend. Look, everyone, it's our Grey Warden associate. Do you have business with me?
Indeed I do. I'm here to kill you.
I suppose my father got to you. Did he tell you about honor and integrity, about my evil plans to conquer the guild? His beliefs are outdated and destructive. Since I put my plans in place, this guild has blossomed. We are better funded and better equipped than ever. You were part of that. Stopping his supply chains, bribing nobles in Denerim. Take pride, my friend. We are remaking the Irregulars into a political force.
There is no we, and I'm about to make that very clear. I mean, he lost me completely when he said he doesn't believe in honor and integrity anymore, so you have to die.
You're entitled to your opinion, but I think my men might disagree with you.
And I think mine might disagree with you, so let's see whose men are more worthy in a fight, shall we? Wynne is already popping mass paralysis. You already see that. So, Wynne, if you would be so kind. I know you got stunned off it there. Go ahead and pop that right there. Morrigan, we don't want this archer doing that again, so you're going to pop a Winter's Grasp on him, and I'm going to go take care of some of the background people here. Now that obnoxious little archer in the back is consistently stopping my mage from popping mass paralysis, so we're going to go take care of these. Sick of seeing stunned in the background from shatter and shot and scatter shot, so you're going to go to the afterlife. Not to worry, your boss will be joining you very, very soon. Whatever you were about to hit me with, you can stop that. Morgan read my mind. I was about to tab onto her to make her do that, and she's already doing it. That's very good. Alistair basically 1v1 Tauren, but I actually would like to get the kill myself, so Alistair, you go ahead and fight this guy. Morrigan, you're going to keep attacking him. Wynne, you're going to attack this one. And again, I am going to go kick Tauren's ass. But Wynne stole it from me. Imagine. Wynne stealing my glory. Right. And that is the end of the Blackstone Irregulars questline. We have finally cleaned up Tauren. Interesting that he had a crow dagger. I wonder if he had anything to do with the Antiban crows. Wouldn't surprise me. It's certainly not above him. That's going to be the end of the Blackstone Irregulars questline, though. The only questline we have left to do, of course, we got to go to Redcliffe and turn in the thing for the collective. We decided to help them out, ultimately, not to betray them. Help for the Blight is help for the Blight, right? After we turn that in, we just have Slim Couldry's final quest to do to become a legend, the legendary heist. Once we do that, we'll be all ready to wrap up the game with the final confrontation and the Landsmeet. So I'll go ahead and catch you guys in Redcliffe. I'll see you there. Alrighty, here's Knight Commander Alarith.
And here you are again. More generosity from my friends at the Collective.
I have a package for you from the Mages Collective.
Oh? Oh, yes, of course. I'll see to this matter personally. Consider it handled, my friend. And good day.
You have a good day too. Alright, now thankfully there is actually a Blackstone Irregulars turn-in all the way down here in Redcliffe, so we'll go ahead and jump to that. There's also a collective here, so we'll jump to that afterwards.
Your efforts are greatly appreciated.
And that is the end of the Blackstones. We'll go ahead and check just to make sure. You see there are no quests available at this time. Alistair did get a level up, which is very good. So for you, Alistair, we're going to drop you 1 willpower and 2 dexterity, all for the survivability at this point. You don't really need anything else. And now we could go into his Templar tree and get Mental Fortress, but I would actually like to give him some more shield abilities. It's been a long time coming. He barely has any of those, so
at your service.
Go ahead and organize this on his bar. We'll keep those at 3 and 4, and that's actually a pretty good layout too. The only thing I will do is I'll put that on 6, so it's reachable. Alright, now I'm going to hop on over to the Mages Collective. Here we are.
Take this. You've earned it.
I appreciate that. Now again, we'll check the collective. No quest. That's the end of the collective line. So now we, as you see, we literally only have one final quest in Denerim, which would be Crime Wave, the private collection. So I will go ahead and jump you guys to the estate that we're going to go rob. Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Here we are back in Denerim. There has been a slight change of plans. I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap the video here. I just looked at the timer and this has been going on an extremely long time. I promise I will do as many edits as possible to get the view time down as much as I can. I know it seems like the 30 to 35 minute mark is the best mark for the people who watch my videos, so I will try and get it as close to that as possible. It'll probably likely be anywhere from 45 to 55 minutes, I think, but we will try and cut it down. That being said, we'll take care of the Grand Legendary Heist next episode, and then we'll take care of the Landsmeet after that. So, thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Take care, guys. Have a great day.